Today, millions of people are unknowingly consuming foods that silently feed cancer. Products full of dyes, preservatives, flavor enhancers, and substances that the body doesn't even recognize as food. Pretty packaging, full of promises, but with ingredients that cause inflammation, disrupt hormones, intoxicate the liver, and alter cellular DNA. We are surrounded by ultra-processed foods that have turned our diet into a roulette wheel, and cancer is one of the bullets loaded onto this drum. With each new study, it becomes clearer. What we put on our plates every day has the power to accelerate or slow down the development of tumors. Frequent consumption of sausages, cookies, soft drinks, artificial sauces, industrialized breads and frozen meals is directly associated with an increased risk of various types of cancer, such as bowel, breast, stomach, liver, and even pancreatic cancer. It's not an exaggeration. It's science. And the scariest thing, many of these substances don't cause immediate symptoms. They build up, damage slowly, inflame silently, until the diagnosis comes, too late. But there is also good news. Just as food can be the cause, it can be the solution. There is a class of foods that science is studying with increasing enthusiasm, and among them, one stands out: turmeric. This golden root, used for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine, now attracts the attention of doctors and researchers all over the world for its unique ability to act on multiple mechanisms related to cancer. Turmeric's active ingredient, curcumin, is one of the most potent natural compounds against chronic inflammation, which is precisely the breeding ground for the formation of tumor cells. Curcumin acts as a deactivator of genes that promote disordered cell growth, as well as stimulating the natural mechanisms for destroying defective cells, known as apoptosis. In other words, it helps the body eliminate the problem before it turns into something worse. Studies published in scientific journals such as Cancer Prevention Research and the Journal of Cellular Physiology show that curcumin can inhibit the multiplication of cancer cells in different types of tumor, including the most aggressive ones. In animal experiments, a significant reduction in the size of colon, breast, prostate, and lung tumors was observed. In humans, although the studies are at an early stage, a strong improvement in inflammatory and oxidative markers, two crucial factors in the onset and progression of cancer, has already been identified. But for turmeric to really work, you need to know how to use it. Its main obstacle is its low absorption by the body. That's why the secret lies in combining it with black peppercorns. Piperine, present in pepper, increases the bioavailability of curcumin by up to 2,000%, enhancing its effects. Another tip is to consume it together with a healthy fat, such as olive oil, coconut oil, or even avocado, which help with intestinal absorption. Incorporating turmeric into everyday life is simple. Add a pinch to rice, soup, vegetables, scrambled eggs, or even coffee with plant-based milk. For those who like functional drinks, golden milk is an excellent alternative. Made with turmeric, plant milk, cinnamon, black pepper, a touch of honey, and if you want to boost it even more, a little piece of fresh ginger. And the benefits don't stop there. Turmeric also helps prevent neurodegenerative diseases, protects the liver against toxins, improves digestion, and strengthens the immune system. It is undoubtedly one of nature's most complete foods. But perhaps its greatest impact is in preventing cancer. Not because it acts in isolation, but because it is a powerful tool within a set of habits that promote health at all levels. If you're not already in the habit of using turmeric on a daily basis, perhaps this is the most important change you can make today. A teaspoon a day can be the difference between an inflamed and vulnerable body and an armored and resistant one. And if you know someone who eats badly, lives tired, or has a family history of cancer, share this content. Sometimes the right information at the right time can save a life. After turmeric, another silent protagonist in the fight against cancer is a drink as simple as it is powerful: green tea. We're not talking about fads, but about one of the most studied substances in the world when it comes to preventing chronic diseases, especially cancer. For centuries, green tea was considered a medicinal elixir in the East. Today, modern science is proving what ancient wisdom already knew. The secret lies in its polyphenols, especially a substance called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, which acts directly to combat oxidative stress, one of the main triggers for the mutation of healthy cells into cancer cells. EGCG is able to neutralize free radicals, reduce chronic inflammation, and interfere with cellular pathways involved in tumor growth. Research published in the journals Carcinogenesis, Nature, and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition indicates that regular consumption of green tea is associated with a reduced risk of several types of cancer, including breast, prostate, esophagus, colon, and liver. In some studies with patients who had already been diagnosed, a reduction in tumor progression and even greater efficacy of certain treatments were observed when associated with consumption of the beverage. But green tea goes beyond fighting cancer at a cellular level. It also acts as a hormone modulator, something that is especially essential for women, since many breast tumors are linked to excess circulating estrogen. EGCG helps to balance this hormonal activity, making the internal environment less conducive to the development of tumors. In addition, it is an ally of the liver, the main organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body. When the liver is overloaded by poor diet, pollution, alcohol, and medication, the body becomes more vulnerable to cell mutations. Green tea stimulates liver detoxification enzymes, helping to eliminate harmful compounds that, in excess, damage DNA. Its impact also extends to the intestinal microbiota, a subject increasingly studied in oncology. A healthy gut is essential for the proper functioning of the immune system and the regulation of inflammatory processes. The compounds present in green tea have a prebiotic effect, feeding beneficial bacteria and contributing to a more diverse and balanced intestinal flora, which in turn strengthens the body's natural defenses against abnormal cells. But how do you get the most out of this food? The answer lies in the way it is prepared and how often it is consumed. The ideal is to use loose leaves or green tea bags from a good source. Avoid industrialized tea with artificial flavorings, sugars, or additives. To prepare, heat the water to boiling point, but do not let it boil. Turn off the heat, wait about 2 minutes, and then add the leaves or sachet. This preserves the antioxidants that are most sensitive to extreme heat. Leave to infuse for 3 to 5 minutes. If it goes longer than this, the tea can become bitter and difficult to consume frequently. The safest and most effective recommendation is to consume between 2 and 3 cups a day, preferably between meals, to avoid interfering with the absorption of iron and other nutrients. For those who are sensitive to caffeine, there are decaffeinated green tea options. Or the alternative of consuming matcha, a concentrated powdered version of the tea leaf, which retains even more antioxidant compounds because it is consumed whole. And if you want to boost the effects of green tea, a simple tip is to add a squeeze of lemon. The vitamin C in lemon helps preserve and enhance the tea's polyphenols, as well as improving the absorption of nutrients. Another interesting combination is with ginger or mint, which in addition to flavor add additional anti-inflammatory properties. It's important to remember that the effects of green tea don't happen overnight. It is not a miracle cure, but a long-term ally. When consumed regularly, it creates a more favorable metabolic and inflammatory base for preventing serious diseases. The idea is to make it a habit, a daily care ritual. While many people are looking for expensive, complex, or even risky solutions to protect themselves from cancer, the answer may lie in a hot cup, sipped quietly in the middle of the afternoon. That's what this script is about. Simple choices made with awareness that accumulate power over time. If you haven't yet included green tea in your day, perhaps now is the time. And if you already use it, share in the comments what your experience has been like. Information like this can inspire others to adopt healthier and more preventative habits. In a world where cancer has become one of the biggest threats to global health, every little dietary decision counts. And among the most powerful natural weapons against this silent disease are berries. Delicious, affordable, and full of bioactive compounds, they form a real natural barrier against the emergence and progression of cancer cells. We're not talking about trendy superfoods, but a class of foods with solid and growing scientific backing. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, cherries, and even acai. All these fruits share a common characteristic. They are rich in anthocyanins, flavonoids, and other antioxidants that act directly to protect cells. These compounds are capable of neutralizing free radicals, unstable molecules that damage DNA, and can start the process of cell transformation that leads to cancer. Anthocyanins, which are responsible for the vibrant colors of these fruits, don't just please the eye. They have been proven to inhibit angiogenesis, the process by which tumors create new blood vessels to feed and grow. Without this constant supply, they cannot develop. This effect has been observed in studies of breast, colon, and prostate cancer, reinforcing the role of these fruits in preventing and even supporting treatment. In addition, fruits such as blueberries and raspberries contain compounds called ellagic acid and quercetin. Ellagic acid induces apoptosis, i.e., it promotes the programmed death of abnormal cells, preventing them from multiplying uncontrollably. Quercetin acts as a modulator of the immune system, strengthening the body's natural ability to identify and eliminate defective cells. Berries also have a direct impact on reducing chronic inflammation, one of the breeding grounds for cancer. When the body lives in a constant state of inflammation, often caused by poor diet, stress, or a sedentary lifestyle, it creates an environment conducive to mutations and disordered cell growth. The bioactive substances present in these fruits help to interrupt this cycle. Another key point is support for intestinal health. Berries are rich in soluble and insoluble fiber, which feeds the beneficial bacteria in the gut and improves intestinal transit. This not only contributes to the elimination of toxins, but also helps to maintain a balanced microbiome, something that modern science already recognizes as essential in the prevention of chronic diseases, including cancer. But to reap all these benefits, you need to know how to consume these fruits in the right way. Prioritize fresh and organic versions whenever possible. If you use frozen fruit, choose those without added sugars or preservatives. Avoid industrialized juices, which generally contain more sugar than nutrients. The ideal is to consume between 1 and 2 portions a day, the equivalent of 1 cup. You can include them in breakfast, with oatmeal, in smoothies, in salads, or even as a pure dessert. An important detail: combine these fruits with foods rich in vitamin C, such as lemon or orange. This enhances the absorption of antioxidants. And if possible, vary the types. Each red fruit has different compounds, and diversity is what guarantees a broader spectrum of protection. Another benefit that is often overlooked is the impact of these fruits on mood and mental health. Some studies suggest that the antioxidants present in red fruits can improve cognitive function, reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, and even slow down brain aging. A powerful bonus when we think about quality longevity. It's not magic, it's science applied to everyday life. While many spend fortunes on supplements or expensive treatments, the answer may lie in what we put on our plates every day. A portion of berries today could represent years of silent protection for your body. And here's an essential reminder: True prevention isn't made up of grandiose actions once a year. It comes from repeating good choices every day. Every time you opt for natural, nutrient-packed food, your body silently thanks you. Your immune system strengthens, your cells become more resilient, and the risk of diseases such as cancer consistently decreases. If you've made it this far, it's because you take your health seriously. So now it's your turn. Share this content with someone you love. It could be a father, a mother, a friend, someone who might need exactly this information today. Don't underestimate the power of a small gesture. Sometimes a tip like this can literally save a life. And if this content made sense to you, don't forget to leave a comment here. Tell us which of these foods you already consume and how they are part of your routine. This exchange of experiences is valuable and can inspire even more people to change their habits. Subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and keep following content like this. Our commitment is to bring you real, accessible, science-based information so that you can make conscious decisions and live longer and better.